need another, this one here really do it for you.
Baby, you need a floor. Yeah, baby, I'm on the floor. Baby, come down to the floor. Let me show you how to the floor.
Y'all about my big bro Gerod in the podcast crew.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome everyone to another episode of the Floor is Yours podcast. We are excited that you have joined us tonight on a special evening on a Tuesday night. We're coming at you because we believe that this topic is so great that we have in store for you today. We got to do it twice. We got to come back. This is part two, a continuation from our story from the episode that we had last week, discussing the new book that's about to be released, that's about to change your way of thinking about the perception and the path that Black women have. Tonight, we're going to be talking about from strength to struggle, the resilience of a Black woman. We're going to look at it from a 360 perspective, people, because here on the Floor is Yours podcast, it is our duty and our pleasure and our mission to bring real and relevant conversations to you guys, to move the needle forward, to move our community forward. And of course, I can't do it by myself. I got my podcast crew with me. Mr. Gerod Ware is in the house, Flex the producer, as he's known in the streets. Say what's up to the people, Gerod.
Hey, good evening. Thank y'all for being here.
And we got the queen herself, Miss Tameka Chapman, is joining us this evening to talk about this particular topic. She is just a phenomenal woman. She has contributed to my life and Gerod's life in just an impactful way, and she's going to do it for you guys tonight in our discussion about the new book and this particular topic. Tameka, take a moment and say hello to the people and tell them a little bit about yourself. The floor is yours.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm Tameka Chapman. I'm excited to be here to talk to my brothers on the Floor is Yours podcast tonight. So I'm the visionary of Black Women Aren't Strong, We're Resilient, and I'm excited to bring forth this mission, this calling, as we step forward, ending 2025, going into 2026. But I'm also the founder of Mogul TV Global Network, speaker, author, mama, wife, all the good stuff, right? But also
fashionista, all of that.
Child of God, okay?
yes, absolutely. Hey, we're so delighted to have you here today. And before we get into this conversation, we want to encourage everyone that's watching to like, share, and subscribe. Tell everybody that you know that the Floor is Yours podcast is on right now, and tell them that we're doing the doggone thing and that they need to tune in and watch for another powerful conversation. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, our topic is from struggle to strength, the resilience of a Black woman. This is a personal topic for me because I have two daughters, and so trying to raise two Black girls who will eventually be two Black women in a society that, for the most part, just degrades Black women and doesn't see their value and doesn't see their work. It begins to be a bit of a struggle. And so tonight, I hope that we can contribute to anyone that is raising Black girls to be Black women. But before we get into that a little bit, tell us a little bit about the book, the concept around it. What can readers expect when they're turning the pages? Tell us a little bit about this.
Absolutely. So Black Women Aren't Strong, We're Resilient. It is a collection of 12 women transparently sharing a chapter of their lives, not their whole life. Like we've gone through so many things in life that has made us learn how to be resilient. And sometimes, not sometimes, but all the time, forever, resilient has been misunderstood and they've called us strong. So my goal with this book is to start the conversation or continue the conversation that don't call us strong, because that minimizes our ability to cry it minimizes, it takes away our ability to show emotion, to not have to show up 24/7 without having to have an excuse or try to explain why why it should be okay for us to take a break, right? And that's from our households, from our
Right.
careers, in business, in
Right.
relationships, in all areas of life. We need to learn how to, one, set boundaries, but also how to take a rest without feeling the need to explain why I need to take a rest. And, surrounding ourselves with other people who understand that, so that we don't feel like, oh my gosh, like if I don't make it, they're not gonna like me. If I don't make it, they're gonna think of me in a certain way. And I'm raising my hand to that because I'm
Right.
guilty of
Right.
that. For so long, I fed into that whole thought process of I have to be strong. I have to show up no matter what it is, no matter what I have going on. I just know I have to show up, because if not, I'm going to be deemed as either lazy, or I can't handle the pressure, or I can't do the job for whatever that is. And so this book is to help start redefining our title. If you want to wear a
Hmm.
title, don't wear the title of strong. Wear the
Yeah.
title
Yeah.
of resilience, and then let's define what does resilience look like. And I think that in this book, each of the ladies shared an amazing journey that showed their ability to be resilient in their obstacles and as they face obstacles and challenges.
Excellent, excellent. It's exciting just to hear you talk about it. I can hear the passion as you converse about it. But we also want to take a moment just to welcome Kymme B to the conversation. Welcome, Kymme, if you would. Take a moment, tell people a little bit about yourself, and then also tell us, why do you think having this conversation is so important, the resilience of a Black woman?
Okay, well, first of all, good name is Coach Kymme B, aka the Queen of She Power. And this me, um, it was more, it was a release for me. I'm a coach. I empower other women. I help women to become seen, women that feel unworthy. So for me, this book, it just went hand in hand with everything that I represent. It was a great opportunity for me to be able to, like I said, release some things in myself and to really help transform the power of this book. This book is so powerful. It speaks really to one who is going through something, who feels that she always up, like Tameka was saying, to be strong all the time. And some don't get weak, strong all the time. We really want to be able to, and like I said, definitely speak to them.
That's great. That's great. I want to start by, let's talk to the naysayers for a moment, because if we look at it statistically, Black women are doing well on paper. Black women are the leading group of college educated people in America. Black women are the biggest population of entrepreneurs in America. Black women's wealth has grown exponentially over the last 20 years. So when we look at it statistically that way, Black women are doing pretty well in our society. So are what are we saying here? Are Black women feeling more empowered, or are they feeling attacked today?
I feel that
I
is both.
we're the most disrespected person in the world. So yeah, we definitely feel attacked. We feel attacked all the time with anything that we do because we always have to go over and beyond. We have to have a step up for other people. We have to go through so much. It could be simple for others, but it could be double hard for us. So yes, I would definitely say yes, we are being attacked. We've always been attacked, but it's worse now than it's ever been.
It is.
Tamika?
But I would also, on the other side, say that we're also being empowered by each other and by the community, by the Black community. Um, because of all that's happening and all that has already happened and all that we know is going to come, we are finding ourselves supporting each other a little bit more. Now, it should have been this way all along, right? But, I find that. Um, I know for me, I look for ways to celebrate other women. I look for ways to, talk to another woman and celebrate her for all that she's doing, promote her, just send her a DM, just say, hey, I see what you're doing, and I'm excited for what it is that you're doing, right? Not looking for
Mm-hmm.
anything in return. And I think that in that way, we are empowering each other, not necessarily from society, but just from
Mm-hmm.
within the culture. Because
Okay.
as Kymme says, we are definitely being attacked from society, even though we're in society, and all the amazing things that
Yeah.
you said about how we are the best educated, the greatest wealth earners, and we can build
Entrepreneurs.
a
Yeah.
business,
Mm-hmm.
right? We can build a business like that, right?
Yeah.
Um, so we're all these great things in society, but society is not recognizing us for that. Society wants to continue to break us down so that they don't allow us to feel as much power that's actually within us, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I do
So,
believe that. Okay,
mhm.
I'm sorry. Go
No, so two things can exist at the same time. You can be
ahead.
empowered and attacked
Right.
at the very same time. Just because you're excelling in one area doesn't mean you don't have hardships in another. Yeah.
Right.
What I'm curious about though is how much of this resilience is self-imposed. Again, just trying to be a troublemaker here, if you don't mind for a second. Um, when we think about the strong black woman's trope or stereotype that we've had, it at one point was a badge of honor. And I don't know if that's based on generation. If you're in your 20s, you take a sense of pride. Then when you get older, you're like, nah, I kind of want someone to help me out from time to time. How much of this, I'm a strong black woman, do you feel is self imposed because I'm a black woman? I automatically walk into the room with a chip on my shoulder.
Mhm. Kimmy, I'll let you start.
Well, for me, I think that's one thing. That's something that is taught, and you have to remember that it goes based on the generation. So, for my mom's generation, absolutely, you had to come in the room and you had to be strong. That was something that you did. You didn't show sign of weakness because you were the person that kept the family together. So in
Hmm.
my generation, of course, learning that. So for me, yes, I'm going to carry that on where, yeah, I have to be strong. I need to be strong. And through my journey, that was the biggest part for me. You
Yeah,
don't allow yourself to be weak. You don't show the emotion that you need to show. So for me, the resilience, it came later on. It was something that was learned because when I got, like you just said, I got to a certain age, and it's just like I'm tired of being the one to hold everybody up on my shoulders. I'm tired. I can only hold so much. I can only take so much. So for
yeah,
me, it was later. I learned it later that no, it's okay. It's okay. I don't have to continue to be strong because I can be strong for everybody else, but in the inside, I'm so weak, and I just want
right,
somebody to help. But from what I was growing up with, I didn't want to ask for that help because that's a sign of weakness, and we don't show that. We have to
right,
be strong. But later on in life, it just got to a point where I'm tired. I'm tired. I can no longer carry everything on my own. I can no longer do everything on my own. And it's okay. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay.
yeah,
And that's exactly what I needed.
Hey, I got
yeah,
a question. Tameka, when you wrote the book and presented the title, I noticed the contrast that you were intentionally making between strength and resiliency. And my question is there a part of resiliency where you have to have strength, but maybe it shouldn't be at the forefront of how you move all the time? Because I do like what you said earlier that um, when people see you as strong, then they power more on you. And resiliency is more than strength, right? It's I know on the last show we talked about barriers. We talked
hmm,
about the ability to pivot, right? It's
hmm,
growth, it's education, things of that nature. So can you talk about what made you want to highlight and contrast, strength and resilience and why
Absolutely.
that's important to understand?
Absolutely. So, here's the thing. Back in April, I read a report, and it said that 300,000 Black women had lost their jobs, had been misplaced from their jobs. And it just took me back to my own exit from corporate America, right? And the reasons why I left corporate America. A lot of it was stress. A lot of it was showing up. A lot of it was, forgetting all about me just to make sure that everybody else is okay. And that is what they expected. They expected me to show up. They expected me to not take a day off. They expected me to just get the job done, right? And so at a time when I fell ill, it was okay, well, she just can't handle it. Or she can't. Now I've been here for 10 years, right? I've been running circles around y'all for a good 10 years. But as soon as I'm not well and I need to take time off, it becomes an issue. And so for me, it was okay, well, how do I get myself back to a point where it's okay and I'm okay when I take time off? But I felt that when I read the report of the 300,000 women, that a lot of them are probably breadwinners at home, or they're probably the only bread coming in the home, right? And so for them, as you said, we have taken on this whole myth of strong Black woman for so long that now they don't know how to rest. They don't know exactly what to do next, but be strong. And so my goal is to give them a message of you don't have to be strong. It's okay to cry. It's okay to sit back for a moment and figure things out. It's okay to learn what your pivot looks like. It's okay to say, you know what, I need to adjust a few things in my life because what I've been doing is not working. I don't know how to allow my body to rest because I'm stressed. I'm two, I don't have any money coming in. I got to figure out where I'm going to get a job at now, right? And so for me, yes, there has to be a strength within you for resilience to exist, right? Because you still have to be able to pick yourself up and go. You got to pick yourself up and make a move, whatever that move is. But don't allow the strength that's within you to be the only thing that you are defined by. Because again, it takes away your ability to be just you, right? And so for me, I wanted to make sure that Black women across the US and the globe understand that resilience is the word to go after, not strong. Let's take back the power of resilience. Let's take back the power of our strength, right? Because we have strength within us, but don't call me strong. Just don't call me strong because that you no longer see me as a human being. You no longer see me as someone that has emotions and feelings and passions that sometimes I can get a little loud because I'm passionate about a thing, right? But it's not to, cause a ruckus. It really is because I'm just passionate about it. I want you to hear what I have to say. So again, just don't call me strong. I'm resilient. I'm a lot of things. I'm brave. I'm courageous. But being called strong just does not allow me to just be the woman that I am.
I like that.
That's good. That is good. So Kymme, help us out with this. So we're here in this conversation that women have the capability and the potential to do great and extraordinary things. How do women then begin to prioritize themselves? When can a woman, a Black woman in particular, become aware of I'm being too strong? I need to slow down. I'm getting too exhausted. I need to do some self-care. What are some signs that Black women need to be aware of? You're on the edge of burnout, and what are some ways to pour back into themselves so that it can be good to around them?
You're on mute, Kymme. Take your mute off. You're muted. Yeah. There you go.
Okay, sorry. So I would say with experience, with my own personal experience, when it gets to the point where the burden gets too heavy, you start to show signs of stress. Your patience is very short. You're just starting to out. You have so much pressure on you. There's just so much. It's almost like you lose yourself. You lose yourself in day-to-day activities. You lose yourself in the day-to-day things that you have to do with home. You just start disappearing. You can't give, because you have nothing else to give. You give everything to everything else, and you're just lost. You're left out. You just you get totally burned out, and you really have to, in order to get yourself back to you have to put yourself first. For me, my case, I felt that because, traditionally, women, we are the ones to take care of everything. The men are our providers. They're our best friends. They're the way to go to, when you have a problem or when you need something or need some guidance or something like that. And women, we are told that we're supposed to hold down the household. We're supposed to take care of different things like that. We're working. We run businesses. I run 5. So we have a lot on our plate. However, you feel that if you're missing something, or if you skip out on something, that you're letting something go, so you don't want to. That makes you feel like, you're failing at what you're supposed to do. But we have to remember, and to get ourselves back to us, we have to put ourselves first. You have to. You have to release some of those things. You have to allow other people to step in and help you. You have to be able to, like I said, put yourself first. Do things for yourself. You can't help yourself. And I have to find my way back to myself. Can't just give and give and you don't have anything left.
Right.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Um, so I mentioned earlier in the show that I have two daughters, and I know I'm light skinned, but I am black. And so, raising my two daughters, I always, was cautious of the fact that they're going to be black women. And I wanted to ask you ladies this to kind of help me out. When does that shift become when you're a little girl and you believe all things are possible and all people are good, and if I do the right thing, only good things will happen to me, to when you begin to notice, wow, because I am considered to be uh, deficient by society standards, I'm going to have to show up differently. And how do parents address that? When that moment comes, when the little black girl realizes that fairy tales are just that, they're just fairy tales, and they have to deal with reality. How do parents address that?
Okay, so
Coach, you want me to?
I'm gonna give my thought process, right? And then Kimmy, I want you to come behind me because I know you're gonna have something different to add to this. Um, I've lived in a fairy tale pretty much my entire life, okay? Because here's the thing. When I was growing up, it was around probably around 8. I had a pen pal from another country, right? And we would write letters. And then at
Mm,
13, I went through a family change, and that family change like almost took me out, right? It was during that
Mm,
time that I had an aunt. She sat with me and she prayed with me every single day. And the words out of her mouth every time she prayed were, everything that you touch would turn to gold. Now, she praying for me. I didn't know that was in the Bible, okay? But I'm just like, oh, I'm believing everything that I touch is going to turn to gold. I don't care what it is. So I'm going to school. I'm making A's because I'm believing that everything that I touch is going to turn to gold. I'm doing projects. I'm excelling. Like, and I still carry that in my head to this day, right? Because she prayed for me and she put that in me that you strive for excellence regardless of who you come up against, regardless of what situation you're in, who's around you. You just strive for your excellence. You do what you're supposed to do, right? um, it wasn't until I left home and joined the military that I actually saw a difference. And I would even say moving from state to state, I then noticed a difference as an adult. But growing up as a kid, I didn't really pay attention to it. I think you would call it bliss or ignorance, for lack of better words, right? I wasn't paying attention to it like that because I felt like, okay, you can't do nothing better than I can. Like I got this. Everything I touched turned to gold, so let's go, right?
right.
That was my thought process growing up. Now I did recognize that there was a difference, but I never played into it. Just because you know how that thing when you okay, I'm gonna just take it back for a minute. When you're talking to a child, if you give them attention to the wrong stuff that they're doing, they're gonna keep doing it. So I had that same mindset. If I keep giving you attention when you're trying to be disrespectful, you're just gonna keep doing it because you know it annoys me. So I'm just gonna ignore you. And I've been called a queen of avoidance a good bit, just because I refuse to just give stuff attention that I don't feel deserves my energy. So that was my thought process. But I would say to you, from me, encourage them, show them love, but also teach them how they should be treated by a gentleman, right? Um, because I think that those same lessons are the same lessons that carry over just into society as well. My dad, he brought me up to be strong. Don't rely on no dude to help you in no kind of way. If you need something, you come to your daddy. Okay, dad. All right. So that was me. So again, I think everybody has a different upbringing. Everybody has different ways that they have they think about things, and different experiences that they've had. But for me, that's pretty much how I still live. I still live in that world of whatever I want to do, I'm going to achieve it, regardless of what I'm facing, and not allowing society to have a say in it.
Good. That's excellent feedback. Thank you. I love the idea of never losing some of that childhood enthusiasm, even as you grow up as an adult. I love that. I love that piece. Kimmy, what do you have to say? When a little girl realizes that society treats her different, a little black girl realizes that society is treating her differently, how do we nurture her through that process?
I would say from my experience, mine is opposite than Tameka's. Um, I had kind of a bit of both. The father raised me very tough, very hard, because he wanted the little black girl not to have to depend on the hard. So when society, when I, start growing up, I would have that tough exterior, so I didn't have any problem dealing with other people. My mother, um, she on the other hand raised me in just that Cinderella type world, where as long as you're good to other people will always be good
Hmm.
to you. You never have to worry about things as long as you're good to other people. Growing up in middle school age, pretty much, I found out that no, that doesn't work. Absolutely not. Because you could be, but if they don't have that, then it's not going to make a difference, which, hurt in the long run. For your daughters, I would say raise them to the point where they know their strength, they know their worth, and raise them to the point of them being allowed to show emotion, to have emotion, that it's okay, and just to always be themselves, always, no matter what, to be themselves and just, make sure that they know their worth, they know their value, know how special and beautiful they are just by being black little girls, just from the start. And I think that'll carry them where they could kind of avoid a lot of the things that these kids are doing today.
I love that.
Good. Good. That's excellent advice. Excellent
Hey,
advice.
Gregory, so we got the
Um,
comments coming in, so it's right at half the hour. Let's jump on some of these comments and just letting the audience know we
oh yeah,
appreciate them.
absolutely.
We're gonna get to many as we can, and then after that we'll go to a commercial break. So, um, first of all, we got some of our trustees on here. My sister from another mister, Carlika, coming in. She's saying
What's
hello.
up, Carlika?
Yeah, same for Dorkeisha saying hello. Um, and I see she's working through some
Hey,
things.
I
What's
see.
Yeah,
up?
yeah, she.
What's up, Queen?
But this is from my hometown, good friend of mine, Mimi. Congratulations, she's a newlywed, newly married. Congratulations on
Congrats.
the marriage. Yeah, but she says attack and let's not forget undervalued. So that was to earlier when we was talking about some of the things that black women experience. They are attack is one of the things we talk about often, but they're undervalued, right? That's the thing where sometimes people dangle the carrot in front of you, right?
Right.
Just enough to get you in, but they don't really, it's not that they don't know their value, but they will devalue because it suits their purpose. Anybody want to speak on that one there?
I would say, on that undervalued part, that is so true, especially with you saying talking about that dangling that carrot, because in my career days, I was going for a promotion and it was just dangling it right there. Okay, apply for it. I applied for it, knocked the interview out the park. Okay. And I'm just like, I know I got this position. Like I'm the best candidate I know because you told me. But
Yeah.
it's the fact of it is, okay, well, we're not going to give that to you. Well, why not? Why would I not be able to get that promotion? Why would I not be able to get that role? Right. And so, you know, being expecting something, but also being told, okay, well, you're not qualified, or being told, well, somebody else was better suited for that role or that position. Me knowing better, okay, but again, definitely undervalued for what it is that we bring to the table and what it is that we're able to do. Absolutely.
Or the other one that they
Mm.
do is, hey, you're almost there. Just keep working harder, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. A boot to the throat. Uh-huh.
Boot
Yeah.
to the- Yeah. So Lisa says, yes, we are being attacked, but how did it become so when men are known for doing the work besides education? You're right. usually men are out in the forefront. So just conventional thinking, you would think that they would take the brunt of the attacks. In many aspects, that is true. But sometimes it leaves women unprotected. And I think that speaks to what she's talking about, right? We could be so distracted, and men head down is like, man, one thing that we can do is make money. We're going to bring in money to us because we don't have anything else. We got to do that. And I've heard men talk about like, wow, the kids grew up before I even realized that they were dealing with these challenges. My wife was dealing with these challenges I didn't know. And sometimes that can leave the women and the children unprotected.
Right.
Anybody want to add anything on that?
Hashtag protect our Black women. Okay.
I mean, come on, really. Gregory, you want to take this one?
Yeah, that's why we live in survival mode and get Labor Day as being hardcore, mean, surly, uppity, and women that don't need a man, whatever you want to call is negative. That's what we get labeled as because we're living in survival mode.
Right.
She didn't label us, not label that. She said later on that that autocorrect. So it said it get labeled as being hardcore.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It is unfortunate that we look at a strong woman as being someone who's abrasive, and because a lot of times Black women are just trying to do what everybody else is doing, and that is just survive.
Right.
I'm just out here trying to put food on my table, keep a roof over my head. But when a Black woman does it, it seems as though it's attached to that stigma of the angry Black woman when she's just trying to survive. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm not trying to cause any trouble. What I'm trying to do is protect myself and my children because I don't have the infrastructure or the tribe around me to help me out. So I got to do this by any means necessary. I hate that stigma for Black women because it is a thing that follows Black women everywhere they go. Whenever there's a scowl on their face, or if they're not smiling or laughing or joking, then automatically either you're happy or you're angry. There's no in between. There's no neutral setting for a Black woman in today's society. She has to be either one extreme of it or another, which is really unfortunate that you got to live in that dichotomy. It's a sad thing, but hopefully the books like this that is coming out and conversations like this will help change that stigma that Black women are like, they're just human beings.
Yeah.
Trying to make it.
Tameka, you want to take this one?
Absolutely. I like the first word. Hell, I get tired of being strong. I want to be fragile sometimes. So people can know how to handle me and treat me as such. Stop treating me as I'm strong. The strong people they want to run up against, and I don't have time for that. Listen, I got time today, though. Listen, I got time today. Don't call me strong. As I said earlier, it removes our ability to be fragile, to be, talk to somebody, hashtag soft girl life, okay? It takes away the ability to be that. It takes away our ability to just rest, not answer, not respond, because you're expected to show up. You're expected to respond. You're expected to answer to your mama, your daddy, your sister, your cousins, your brothers, your children, your spouse, your coworkers, your boss. Like, you're expected to show up and answer. And sometimes you don't want all of that. You just want to not do. You just want to be. And, we should be able to do that. Like Gregory just said, I hate that stigma is there as well. We should just be able to be. That's it. That really is it.
Yeah. It's like you have to disprove that stigma. It's automatically there, and you have to walk in the room and go, "Oh, I'm not the stereotype," instead of just being accepted for who you are.
Right.
Yeah, human. That's awesome. Let's do one more, and then we're gonna go to commercial break. This is from Keisha. She said, "Life has a term for when you get to that point in life with so many changes, it make you question yourself, and when is the right time to rest or take a break, especially if you're the only one taking care of everything." And that's so true. When for a number of reasons, it can just be you, right? And at the end of the day, sometimes you hate reaching out for help. What maybe you've been turned down, or maybe the people that's in your closest proximity have their own challenges, right? But what do you do when it's just you? What do you do? How do you address those challenges? Someone want to take this one here?
You have to find time for you. You really do. You have to find time for you because everything's going to keep on moving no matter what. Because, like you said, we just have so much. Like, when do I get the time, or when is the time for me to just, you know, just be free and just relax? You have to take that time, regardless of what's going on. You have to step away. You have to. I did it for years.
Yeah.
I did it for years, and I always thought that, you know, like we've been discussing, that I'm on my own. I'm alone. I have to do things. I have to get things done. This is going wrong. That is going wrong. And it's like you get your back up against the wall. Like, when is it going to be time for me? When can I just relax and just be me? When can I wind down? What can I do to wind down when everything else around me is going nuts? You just have to take the time. I wish I would have known that and learned that earlier. I wouldn't have had so much struggle. But however, you just have to do it. You have to take
Yeah, Tameka, I remember last week, or a few weeks ago, we was on the show and Gregory was talking about knowing your capacity. And it made me think about some of the conversation that you and I have had, right? So I think that's the part of it too, is understanding your capacity. Sometimes it's not others that's overloading us, we're overloading ourselves. And so I think you know your capacity as well.
It's the amen corner over here. This is the amen corner.
You know, to speak to Darkisha's question, I would also advise Black women to not make perfection the goal. That you don't have to overachieve at everything. You don't have to be the perfect mother. You don't have to be the perfect employee. You don't have to be the perfect wife. Some days just showing up is enough. And give yourself that grace to go, I made it through the day. I wasn't perfect, but I still showed up, and that's enough. Perfection is not the goal.
Perfection, not the goal. So that's good. We got a few more comments. We're going to get to it on the other side of the commercial break. But yeah, let's take the commercial break. And after that, we'll come back and continue the discussion.
The most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The black woman. Respected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman.
You know, Tameka, when I first heard about your book, that was one of the first things that came to mind was what Brother Malcolm talked about. The most unprotected, neglected, disrespected person in America is the black woman. And it's one of those things, like it always has been, and you think that you made so much progress. And then here comes some people or circumstances that remind you, like, we're not so far gone from what happened in the past that you can't fight or what it's been. So but I'll let you take a moment to talk about the event that we got coming up on the 17th.
Absolutely. Listen, what started off as just me hearing a word. I said, okay, yes and amen. Let me just go and be obedient, right? And so it is now turned into an anthology of 12 amazing women who are sharing, who have shared their journeys, and who are inspiring and empowering and energizing other Black women to say, hey, tap into your resilience. It's okay that you've gone through some things, just stand back up. And now it is also turned into a whole conference, y'all. Right? It is the launch of a calling, and a launch of a calling is really my calling, right? And I want everybody to be a part of this. I want everybody to be a part, because it's not about me at all. It's about how am I going to show up and serve? How am I serving? Who am I serving? And that's what this event is all about on December 17th. It is called Black Women Are Strong. It's the conference. And we got some amazing speakers. We have some amazing featured speakers that
you do.
I had to think about what is the impact that I want everybody to walk away from when they leave. And based on that, I said, okay, I know who can deliver. I know, right? And so me reaching out to two of my brothers right here, Gerod and Gregory. Thank you all. I appreciate y'all for sharing your voices and your insights. And I appreciate your support always. We have two other speakers. We have Monique McCray as well as Coach Cookie, hey, who's going to come through also and bless us with some amazing words. And so, again, this is a celebration of a launch. is the celebration of a launch of what it is that we are now pushing out into the world to let other Black women understand that we see you, we hear you, we love you, we support you, we stand with you. For all of the things that we're going through, we are together. And it is to help us band together. Because what is that saying? You know, I'm a force all by myself. I'm a movement by myself, but I'm a force when we're together. So Black women, let's be the force.
Yeah.
Let's be the force and move together. Let's support each other the way we should already be doing. And so that's what this book is really, and the mission of this book is really all about.
That's good. That's good. So let's go through a few more of these comments, and then we'll jump back into the discussion. Here's a good friend, Tanisha. Man, I tell y'all, Texarkana is always showing up, man. I appreciate my hometown. She's saying absolutely. I think she was talking about something I said. You know, I always Matwana, we miss you on the show. Matwana saying,
hey,
good evening. Hey, here's our sister in Christ, Antoinette. She's saying hello. Matwana also says better suited doesn't equate to better qualified.
Right.
Better suited usually means better able to control. Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's perspective right there. I like what she's saying about it. Yeah.
Right. I love that.
Yeah, this is a good friend, D'Angela. She says sometimes you are too good at what you do and they don't want to let you go. So they look over you or give excuses as to why they think you're not ready for that promotion. Man, I think I've seen it happen to people.
Yeah.
Well qualified people, but they're workhorses. So they leave them in those positions so they can continue to pile work on them. So that's a good point. Any of y'all ever experienced that or seen that or want to speak on it?
Yeah, the reward for doing good work is more work.
Yeah. There's this statement that I was told a long time ago by a good friend. She says, don't become a victim of your own success.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that, okay?
Right.
All I knew was to show up and get the job done.
Yeah.
It wasn't until the issue happened that I understood what she meant. Don't be a victim to your own success, meaning don't set the bar so high for yourself and for everybody else that it becomes, an issue when you can't reach it.
Sure.
And so I didn't understand it, but it's definitely something that I think we all should think about.
Especially in corporate America, the goal is, you shouldn't strive to do good work. You should strive for momentum. Like you're looking to work in a way that moves you, that propels you forward, not gets you stuck in a rut.
Another thing too is this, whether it's single point dependency or gatekeeping or just refusing, this is mine and I refuse to let it go. Sometimes you can do it to yourself too, right? Yeah. Where, this is mine. I don't want to let it go. I built this baby. I've seen it come to fruition and I don't want to let it go. And sometimes you can be your own hinderer.
Yeah, that's true.
She also said definitely undervalued. Antoinette was talking about that soft girl era that you were talking about earlier. She said sometimes you just want to, and Tiffany, appreciate the comment from Tiffany. She said we should be able to just be, and I like that, like without so much defined by titles or what I'm going through today might not be what I'm experiencing tomorrow, or you as women, right? So whatever you're experiencing today, of course with some confinements and other considerations, but you're right, sometimes we can be controlled by the circumstances so much that it hinders us, right?
All right. Can I say something as well?
Please.
Something that I always, I've told several people, but also I was raised this way, is to remove the title, right? When we remove the title, we can just see the person. And that's in all relationships. I don't care if it's your mama and your daddy, because I had to remove the title from there too. And like, hey, I see what you're doing. Okay. So again, I think that when we remove the title, we get to see them as the human, and understanding that as humans, we make mistakes, right? We don't get it right all the time. But when we have this title, now you're expected to live up to a certain expectation that somebody's put on you. So don't give me a title. Just call me Tameka, okay? And let me be me, because I'm not perfect at all.
And I like that. And you're not saying, hey, if you're mama, I can call you by your first name.
No, I ain't gonna say that. Your lips straight, okay?
Yeah. And Tameka, again, she said so true. Of course, she was talking about something I said. But,
of course.
This is my army buddy, Big G, we call him Debo. He said, when it's just yourself, that's when you find the things you like to do and help you to relax, like working out or reading. So we were talking about earlier, Kymme, on some things you can do to try to, find balance in your life. So that's some great advice there from G. And Matwana said that's how quiet quitting came into play in the workplace. You're right. Yeah, you're right, man. People just try to work you and work you, so you figure out that balance. I'm gonna do enough to keep my job, enough not to get fired, right? Yeah. And Carlika said, "Don't be controlled by your circumstances." Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
Mr. Gregory, what you got for us next, brother?
This is the part of the conversation, Gerard, I was really looking forward to, because I think it's time for you and I to get some answers about how to love strong, resilient Black women. Because out here, as we intermingle with Black women, be it single men who are out there, who are trying to connect with women who have to hold it on by themselves, sometimes it's hard to get past those defenses. Kymme, sometimes as a single man, when you're looking to date a strong, resilient Black woman, those walls are thick and tall. What do Black men who love Black women, because Gerard and I say all the time on this show, we love Black women. What do Black men who love Black women need to know about how to love a strong Black woman? Let us know. What's the code? What's the cheat code? Resilient Black women. Thank you, my brother.
You gotta have patience. You gotta have patience. You definitely gotta have the understanding. Definitely. Because that's what we need. And you need to allow us the space to be us. Love us for who we are. People will show you who they are. So love us for who we are, and just have the patience and the understanding for us. Because once we see that, and we see that we're able, it's okay for us to be open, and we can be emotional with you. You can't get anything better than that. You really won't. Because I know in my case, that's all I needed. I had the wall up. I mean, the wall was up. Because I'm coming from raising 3 kids, on my own, have to do everything. So there wasn't anything that I really wanted a man to step in to do. And I had to learn that. And I had to learn, you have to let that wall down. You have to let somebody be able to help you. It's okay to, to allow it and to happen. And God just blessed me with a good man that was able to help me to remove the wall. He really was. He had the patience, he had the understanding, and he definitely showed me the love, and I was able to do so.
That's awesome. Tameka, are some resilient Black women just not ready for romance because they've had to hold their own for so long? Are there some women that just like, this is not the right time for me? I just can't. I can't be vulnerable.
It's a trust factor. It's a trust factor. I've had to, rely, not me, but in a response, I've had to rely on myself for everything. And now you just want me to hand it over to you. Like, how do I know you're going to be able to do what I need to have done? You're trying to step into this role, but this is how I've been doing it. And, a lot of times we are doing things that are not efficient nor effective, but don't come in and just dog us like that. Like, what you're doing don't make sense. To do it this way, do it that way. Be more understanding, as Kymme said, right?
Patience.
Patience, understanding, loving, right? You have to understand when you are approaching a woman that is that has been doing it on her own, it's going to take some time for her to truly trust, to truly appreciate your position and your role, right? It's not going to be like, okay, I'm ready, so you should be ready too. And no, that's not how it goes. It takes time. It takes time. And I'll just speak from my own experiences. Like I told you, my dad raised me to, don't rely on no dude. And he used some other flavorful words. But don't rely on a guy to do anything for you. You get out and I'm going to teach you. You go do it for yourself. And, I relied on him and only him as a gent to do everything that I needed to get done. So when I met my husband, I was just like, yeah, bro, I'm good. I don't need you to do all of this. So if you want to change my tires, okay, go do that. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm just saying, it was a time for, you know what, I said, you know what, he's a good guy. He really is a good guy.
Yeah.
And he likes me. I haven't pushed him away yet with all of my smart talk and, not just being whatever you want me to be, what society has said I should be. He might stick around a little bit, so I warmed up to him. But underneath all of I had a big heart, so I had a heart ready for love and wanting to love, but still it was a trust factor for me. I want to be able to trust that you're not going to take advantage of me when I show you my vulnerable side, right? So yeah, that's what I got to say, right? It's trust for me.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
trust. It's trust. Is it a myth that a resilient woman needs an equally resilient man, or a man that is more resilient, or can she meet a man that is more humble than her and still have a connection with him?
I'd say definitely he could be more humble than her, because in my case, absolutely. And it's perfect.
So if you're an alpha female, do you need an alpha male to be with you?
I wouldn't think so. My opinion, I wouldn't think so. Not at all.
Okay.
It's a track. I mean, so if I'm alpha and he's alpha, then we have a problem. There's a problem there. Because you're not going to tell me something and he's going to think the same. So I don't think so. In my case, mine is more humble. I would say that I'm the alpha, and then he's more humble. And he would say the opposite. You used to be the alpha, now you're more humble. But yeah, I think it can work.
Yeah, I think. I was going to
Go
say
ahead,
this.
Tameka.
I think that honor and respect kind of diffuse those titles. I like what Tameka was saying earlier about kind of get away from the titles and what we think. When you love someone, you learn how to coexist in each other's spaces.
Yes.
So just want to throw that in. Yeah.
I agree.
But I will say in my adult years, in today's time, I definitely want my husband to be as resilient as he is. And when I tell you he's resilient, okay? Because we face some crap in this world. We have faced it. And, still have a lot of things that we're facing. So I want to make sure that he know how to bounce back, because there may be a time when I'm just like, okay, listen. And this is like probably 100% of the time, like I'm not dealing with that. Right? So somebody got to be able to pick it up and just say, hey, this is what we're doing. Right? But I will say that for me, I definitely say for me and my household, you got to be resilient.
Yeah.
Because I'm a avoider. I'm the queen of avoidance. Okay, that's me. I will not deal with it. I don't have the energy for it.
Just letting you know, Gregory, you sparked a lot of conversation in the comments, man. So just make sure we get
You always do.
I'm happy to do so. I don't want to walk away from the conversation about love and a resilient woman for a second, because when children are in the home and they see mom as the resilient one, does mom have to be cautious of showing softness and strength, or can she be all?
Can she be all either resilient or all soft?
Yeah, can she be both? Yeah, that's what he's asking. So
I say both.
Yeah, I know I'm definitely both.
Yeah, I say both. Like they need to see that.
Sorry about that.
No, I think they need to see both sides. They need to, like, for me in business, me in business and me in like personal, it's totally different. I handle my business a bit different than I do just being mom here in the house. But allowing them to see that you're not feeling well, allowing them to see that, hey, I just need a day of rest. I'm not getting on a computer today. I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to sit back and relax today. Or if I need to shed a tear, I'm not going to hide it from them, right? Because it'll just it allows my children to know that their mama is human. I'm not a robot. I'm not just on go, go, go. But also, they haven't really witnessed me doing a lot of things in business. Now they've seen me on a Zoom call or, doing some behind the stream work, right? And something didn't go right. I was like, oh, I got to fix that. Oh, snaps, I got to go do this. Oh, snaps. They'll see me make my list of things that I need to get done. and I hold myself to a goal of getting those things done every day. But giving them structure, I think, allows them to, one, understand that mama's not human. I mean, mama is human. Mama has to set goals and she can make her goals, but that is just me setting an example that I would like for them to also be aware, that emotional side, that mental side, that you don't have to be on go 24/7. So that's for me. What about you, Kymme?
Yeah, and they definitely need that. Like I said, with my kids, I mean, they see both sides. They know I
Right.
can be loving, I can be tender. I get the person, that takes care of things, but then they can see me at times when I'm upset, times when I don't feel good, times when I'm sick or whatever. They need to be able to see all their sides. So they'll
Right.
know that it's okay. That,
That's
yeah,
good.
I mean, I feel just what, it's okay to feel.
Yeah, that's
So,
good.
yeah.
And then one of the terms that's gotten real popular these days is cosplay, right? And that's people put on these costumes that's to fit or present themselves in certain light. And I think it's to both you points. You need to be true to who you are,
Right.
and this is not just for you; it's for your people in your orbit too, to
Yeah.
understand what you are experiencing, what you're going through, so they can show up for you as well too. So
Mhm.
I think that's
Right.
important to understand.
And
Yeah, I think it's
speaking of, no, go on,
I
Gregory.
think it's because um, you don't want your daughters to be out of balance as they face life's adversity. There's only
Right.
one way to solve every problem, but there's multiple ways to approach issues, to approach the people in your life and different stresses and different factors. And I think if we show only softness or we show only strength, we are doing our children a disservice because we're only giving them one option, one path in which to live.
Right. Right.
That's
I love
good.
that.
That's good. And I've seen several videos that's been challenging people, and I don't like the way the video shows because you put just a snippet out there, it doesn't present everything in its total context. But the video is saying essentially that we're too soft today, and that people are breaking from things that didn't break us in the past. And while there may be some truth to that, when you present them, I put those kind of videos out there. I think it gives an incomplete message. It doesn't put the whole, thing in the context. And let's just be honest, a lot of what we dealt with in the past shouldn't be. Like we've been trying to overcome and progress and be stronger. So when you understand what being resilient is, it's not just on you women. Again, we're talking about building a community of people that
Right.
recognize you for your value. We
Yeah.
don't undervalue you, we don't take you for granted, and we're your biggest supporters as well. So I think those kind of messages can be very, very dangerous, and it makes people try to fit a certain um, being, if you will,
Right.
unnecessarily, right? So I just think we just got to be careful about that. But Gregory, we got a lot of comments, man. I told you sparked a lot of conversations in the
That's troublemaker.
comments, and I want to get away from them. So let me hit a few of them. It's another one of my good buddies from my military service. He said, "Don't compare them to other race of women because their platform is not ours." I love that. Their foundation is not ours. We navigate the world very differently, and that's something that you have to contend with constantly. You're comparing hey, you're too aggressive, and that's putting it lightly. We heard some pretty derogatory things about black women on why men don't date black women. So comparing them is a bad thing.
There is oh God, in trouble for saying this. Tameka, I think I may need a bodyguard.
I'm on my way.
As someone who has, dated different ethnicities, I will say that when you date a black woman as compared to other races, you do have to come correct. There is a different level of expectation of how you show up. If you can't do it, don't say you're going to do it.
Right.
How you start is how you got to stay. There is a different expectation when you're dating black women versus other races. And I think that just has to be understood because as the comment says, their plight is different. And so when we compare black women to other races, it's a false equivalency because the journeys are different.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Good perspective. Thank you for that comment, Crystal. Tiffany says, accept us for who we are. We just need to be and to trust you.
To
That's good.
trust you.
Yeah.
Yes. Come on, Tiffany.
Yeah. And that, you know what, and we talked about before how the need to have accountability woven inside this discussion. But I would just say this, and this not to negate anything that Tiffany is saying, but that trust thing is understanding it in its totality. We say all the time that trust is not a feeling, it's a decision. Now you could talk about the eases of trusting or the how difficult it may be to trust. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we're not being led by emotions only. Emotions are an important part of our decision making. Of course, we don't want to totally omit them. But yeah, trust is not a feeling. And we make sure that when we're in these relationships, partnerships, business dealings, that we're showing up as much as possible as our best self. Of course, we're not going to always be perfect. So you need that grace in it as well. But yeah, just want to outline that piece that trust is a decision, right? It's not a feeling.
That's right.
True.
Yeah, D'Angela says, I don't want to read. Who want to read this one?
I'll read it. It starts at the foundation. Let that foundation settle by communicating and building that trust and understand people's love language.
Yeah, love language. I love that one. Yeah.
What's y'all's love language?
Mine?
We know Gregory's is eat a sandwich, okay?
Mine is a sandwich.
Hey, I think we have to unpack that one. Nah, I ain't gonna do that.
Oh my gosh.
But you know, I love that love language part because when you're talking about relationships being about servitude, right? Service to each other, you know, you're giving, but at the same time, that doesn't neglect your need to make sure that you're good too. But I know a lot of people, you heard these statements, I know what I want, I know what I deserve. And I think if you go into a relationship with that mindset, it's self-serving. And I always ask people, like, if you think that, what if the other person is thinking that same way? Like, I know what I want and I know what I deserve. You're going to have a conflict and two people trying to, you know, outdo each other as far as being self-serving, right? So I think you got to be careful about that. Leftonet said, allow us just to be. Tiffany said, I think he would need to understand who you are called to be as a woman. Now, I love that right there. Anybody want to take this one? That's a good one.
Yes.
God bless her.
I'll speak on that one about understanding who you are called to be.
As a woman.
Okay, Tiffany, don't hate me while I say this first part because I like you. Okay, I like you. You're my best friend at this point, Tiffany. Okay, you're my best friend. No, but I would say that first of all, there's a lot of women who don't understand what their calling is, and we're still trying to find our way. We're still trying to find what it is that we're supposed to be doing. What is our mission in life? What is our purpose? How do we, step into it? And then we come along, and now we got this guy who wants to give us love, right? So yes, they need to understand our calling, but they also need to be patient as we still define what that calling is, and how do we implement that, right? But patience, we said it earlier, patience and understanding for your Black woman, right? But as it pertains to her calling, understand that he needs to be God-fearing too. That's the other thing. He needs to be God-fearing. He needs to love God more than he loves you. Because if he does, then there's not going to be an issue with him understanding your calling as you're walking in it or trying to decipher all the many different messages that you're getting about your calling.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah. Here's one right here from me. She says, see us for who we are and don't weaponize our strength. Mine is good. That first statement by itself. Y'all remember that because we're going to definitely come back to that part. But my husband had held with me in the beginning when we first started dating. But when he saw my strength as my light, he stood in my light with me. In other words, he couldn't change me, so he held my hand. I was yin, and he was my yang, and then we became one. So that first part, see us for who we are and don't weaponize our strength.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. So I like to think when you get into a relationship, you think of it as two superheroes who are coming together. right? So if you have Superman and Wonder Woman come together, they're not at each other, not attacking each other. Superman's strengths are now combined with Wonder Woman's strengths, and now together they're able to be better superheroes than they are independently. And so when we sometimes get into relationships, we sometimes compare and contrast, and sometimes it becomes a competition. Well, I can do this better than you know, and so I should be doing it. I should be leading it. I should be in control because I can do X, Y, and Z. You don't think of it that way. You think of it as two superheroes who are coming together, and together you're able to do a greater good than you are as individuals.
I love that.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of superheroes, I always think about when people talk about an alpha, I've been thinking about the Incredible Hulk, like this big strong dude. He's just gonna beat up everybody. But Twana says she need an Incredible Hulk. I mean, alpha. So I won't have to be an alpha. It's exhausting for me as a single woman. What do y'all say about? I get what she's saying. I think if I put it in different terms, she wants a leader, someone that she doesn't have to always take charge, make the decision. Yeah. And I've heard women speak to that right there. They need right there.
Kymme, you want to take that?
Yeah.
As far as an alpha, going to be an alpha, I think someone to look for. You don't always want to. I love the fact.
Yeah, I think we're losing Kymme. Your connection is bad. If you want, do you want? There we go. I think you clear it up now. So, we lost her. Okay.
She'll come back in.
Yeah. Tiffany says, "Yes, sir. As a single widowed mom, see both sides." When you're talking about the soft side or the leader, Gregory, that's to your comment earlier.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it says, in my experience as a single mother with 3 boys, I had to be both resilient and soft. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Tiffany said that is when a Black woman is used to being disappointed.
Yeah, those walls go up, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. And that's when they say you better preach Tameka Walker Chapman.
That's right. Look at her.
And Gregory, Tameka, she's saying receive when you was giving your advice earlier. So Gregory, this is the time where we let you wrap us up and punt it to the guests too, and let them give us some good parting thoughts. So why don't you wrap the discussion up and let everybody get in some words before we get out?
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to quote one great prophet when it came to women and how to love women, and I found the words to ring true. And if you know it, feel free to say it with me. It goes, since we got our name from a woman and our game from a woman, I wonder why we take from our women, why we rape our women, do we hate our women? I think it's time for us to kill for our women, time to heal our women, be real to a woman. And if we don't, we'll have a race of babies that will hate the ladies and make the babies. And since we can't make one, we have no right to tell a woman when and where to make one. So
was that Kid Rock?
No, G-Rock.
Was that Kid Rock?
Shout out to all the Black women, because listen, it has been Black women that have held us up and have held us down, and we just want to give all the love and support that we can to our Black women. This book, I think, is a necessary conversation. I think it was absolutely brilliant for you to make it an anthology, because no one story can fit the whole diaspora of what it is to be a Black woman. Black women are not a monolith. You come in all different sizes, shapes, and colors, experiences, and perspectives. And so to hear different voices, I think gives a great opportunity for every woman to find her voice in those pages. And so I'm excited about this book. I think it's much needed, and I'm looking forward to it. And I think it's a great tool, and I think it's going to be a blueprint for women to see themselves in it, and to know, if nothing else, there's hope that she is not alone. And so you can pre-order it now, but I'll let Tameka tell you how. Just get excited to everyone that's watching. Support our Black women, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here.
That's good. That's good. Tameka, you got some parting words for us?
Well, Absolutely. So first of all, I want to say thank you to Gregory and to Gerod for having us on. I appreciate your support always. You're always just saying, hey, we got you, right? And that's what family is, right? That's what family is. And I appreciate all of the ladies who have said yes. I mean, it was an immediate yes from all of them as they said, okay, what do we do next? There was an excitement about, being able to be a part of an impactful project. And that's what I'm always for. I'm all about the impact. What is the impact we're trying to get to? Okay, so these are the things that we should do to make sure that we reach that impact. And so this book, Black Women Aren't Strong, We're Resilient. Again, it is here to be a whole shout out, battle cry to women across the U.S. and abroad, Black women specifically, letting them know that we're here. I see you. I hear you. I am you. I have experienced, my own battles, and we all have. And so again, this anthology, this is just the beginning. This is the beginning of the entire calling. And again, listen, I'm so excited, y'all. I'm so excited for what it is that I am doing in this season of my life. Black Women Aren't Strong. It is just the beginning. This anthology, We're Resilient. It is just the beginning. It's the beginning of stories being shared. It's the beginning of you recognizing, hey, I don't have to be strong every day. I can rest. I don't need to give you an excuse. I don't need to turn in a permission slip to just rest, to just be me. I don't give anybody that. If I need to rest, I'm gonna take a rest. I got these small kids, but they got a daddy, okay? So I'm just gonna find that time to rest. And we were talking earlier about how do we find that. There is no perfect time. You just got to take it. Don't even put it on the calendar, just take it. Right, just take your time for yourself. And so that's what this whole launch is all about. It is about launching Black women's voices into the atmosphere that allows us to reach so many more women that just needs to hear a good word, a positive word, a reassuring word, and a word of love as well.
Yeah. www.energizeher.us. You see the link at the bottom of the screen. Make sure you go to that website and check it out, and you get information on the upcoming event on December the 17th. And I'm looking forward to more information about that. Miss Kymme, what you got for us, ma'am? Parting thoughts?
Listen, I would say to all the women watching, listen, don't miss out on this opportunity. Get in where you fit in, and please get book. There is so much power in the pages of this. There are so many different journeys. You're going to learn something different from each and every woman dropped about a journey in this book. I'm so serious about and book.
Amen. Thank you for that. This was fun. Gregory, what you got for us, man? You want to close us out?
Absolutely. Hey, it has been our pleasure to have this conversation with you tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope this conversation didn't disappoint. It was a blessing to me, and I hope it was a blessing to you. Please subscribe to our page, follow us so you can stay in touch when we have these conversations. Don't forget, we are here for you. So if there's a topic, issue you want to address, you let us know and we'll talk about it. The Floor is Yours podcast is exactly that. It is your podcast. It is a voice for you to be heard and to be understood and be educated. So we thank you so much for watching. We love you and we feel blessed because you were here tonight. Until next time, peace, love, hair grease. We out.
Need another, this one here really do it for you. Baby, look at